The Communities That Care Coalition recently found that drug and alcohol use among teens in Franklin County is down dramatically. We visited Greenfield High School and talked to the students and faculty about this study and how it made them feel about their school and their community.
It's really great knowing that the levels of alcohol use are decreasing because there's so many more things and activities that you can get involved with when you're not under an influence, and it's a lot of, I think personally it's a lot more fun doing other activities rather than just wasting time sometimes.
It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel that people are being responsible and not doing whatever it is they do.
I think it's very nice knowing that I don't have the pressure on me to do it, and just it's really nice.
It makes me happy to know that people are brave enough to finally make their own choices, because obviously I think mostly it's been about, like, the reason why people do use drugs and alcohol is because their friend is doing it or because the other people around them doing it.
I think people are realizing that drugs and alcohol aren't everything in life, and there's so much more out there. You've got your whole life to live, and I think they're choosing better things to spend their time and how they want to, you know, live their life.
I mean, I think it was surprising in a good way because it made me proud to be at the school that I'm at, and it made me realize that people are using it less and we're improving.
I'm actually quite impressed. It's really nice to see that's dropping. It actually makes me quite happy because I've probably known a couple people that have done it, and it's messed up their life, and it's so nice to hear that less and less people are doing it.
Well, I think that definitely the students seem to be more involved in other activities more than ever, and I'd like to say that I've definitely seen a trend where students are less likely to just gravitate to those types of behaviors, especially when it comes to, like, even smoking cigarettes and things like that, just in the student body and out in the community. I see less and less of it.
And even though kids are hesitant to listen to their parents, the kids told us what parents could say to help them stay above the influence.
I guess they could just say that, one, it's bad for anyway, but just like, it's not worth it. It's gonna mess up everything. If you wanna go to college, if you wanna have a family and just have a productive life later down the road, you don't want to do them.
Doing drugs, it doesn't help you in any way, and it just makes life harder and things at school harder and stuff. So if you're going through like a tough time or you feel the need to do this, you should like talk to somebody or just like find a way to stop.
Yeah, I think it's good to have parents that can lead you in life in a good way.
Maybe giving like their own story behind it, whatever they did, how it made them feel, what happened to them during their life, and then tell them if it was a good impact or a bad impact, probably being a bad impact.
Parents, students, and educators hope that this is only the beginning in an even larger decline in teen alcohol and substance use.
I think sometimes students think or assume that other people are using drugs and alcohol and things. They watch a lot of television and reality shows and things that might glorify that. But just to recognize that in our community that's not being glorified, that more students aren't using than ever, is a positive thing, and that they need to take that and spread it out further into the community.
Just stay away. You just say no to it. It's not that hard. You just don't do it.
And now that we've heard from some of the students and faculty about the declining rates of substance abuse, it's time to get a closer look. And here to help us understand the study are Kara McLaughlin, Bill Worley, and Sarah Shedd. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's break this study down a little bit for everyone out there who is not 100% familiar with it. Substance abuse is down, and it's declining exponentially.
Right. So throughout Franklin County, and also actually throughout the United States, but specifically in Franklin County, we've been surveying students in the 8th, 10th, and 12th grade and looking at their use rates. And then we chose targets of what to focus on to say, what's a problem in our community and what do we want to decrease? So we saw that alcohol was a big problem. And we've, over the last 10 years, did a lot of work to change the environment in which kids grow up in, and we're seeing that it works.
And we have some really telling graphs, actually, that are amazing. But it's so nice to know that, if you can see here, things like binge drinking and alcohol use are down among 8th and 10th and 12th graders, and very much so. And Sarah, for you, it must be nice because, you know, as we were seeing in the video, drug and alcohol use was being glamorized in the movies, and it seems like everyone was doing it. What's it feel like to know, though, that you're not someone who doesn't use, is in the majority? Do you feel cool knowing that you're kind of in the majority?
Yeah. It's nice knowing that
most of my fellow peers in school are not or are making good decisions.
And everyone's staying above the influence, and there are so many other things that people can do too. I know you horseback ride.
Yeah.
Does it seem like in schools these days more and more people are kind of staying away, and there's more that you can do to get away from drugs and alcohol?
Yep, more students are getting involved either in sports or theater, extracurricular activities, and it's really nice knowing that they're spending their time doing those things that they like rather than making bad decisions.
There's a huge myth that we're going to bust today, and it's that people don't listen to their parents. But through your research, you're saying it's not true. Kind of expound on that for us.
Yeah, even was talking to someone earlier today, and they were talking about how, oh, kids don't listen to their parents. And I thought the same thing too, and all the studies show that the parents are the #1 source of information. So when a teenager wants good information, the person they trust the most, they're going to go to their parents because they know they care about them the most. And we also know that a no-use policy in a family that create together is going to set your child up for less of dependency and less likeliness of alcohol and any sort of abuse the longer they wait to engage in any sort of use.
And Bill, quickly, you're an educator. You've done this for years and years. What are things specifically that parents can say that maybe would help going forward?
I think starting with really clear expectations and letting your children know what you believe and what you think is important. But I also think just listening is a big part of it. Sitting down for family dinner on a regular basis goes a long way to let your kids know that you're available and interested in what's going on in their lives.
Well, it's all about communicating and affirming those positive stereotypes. So I want to thank the three of you for coming in to talk to us today. It's tremendous the work that you're doing in the community, and Sarah, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And let's all help keep substance abuse down among teens in our communities. So show your children this study, and together we can keep our kids above the influence of drugs and alcohol.